Unlike in prior theories, everything in the algorithm universe theory is made up of information states. There are no quarks, there is no force, there is no dimension. Instead, there's merely the expression. This lecture assumes that you have There's one type of information for all forms of matter and energy and even space in the universe. Folding, which is 2 to the n exponential of the pre-dimensional information states, creates sequentially photons in one dimension and the force of gravity, waves, the electromagnetic force in 2 dimensions, matter, time and the neutron forces in 3 dimensions, black hole material, molecular forces in 4 dimensions, and even higher compressed states which are not directly observed at this point. While everything in the universe is made up of information, there are parts that give the information its expression. These parts define the features of the underlying algorithm to take the information, increase it to form a domain, that operate on the domain and create a codomain in multiple steps set out in the overview of the theory. There are 2 different rates of change. There's change at the same rate, which occur at the pre-dimensional level for all quantum points and is reflected by the change in charge at increasingly longer intervals for each change in x. The easiest way to envision this and reconcile it with the subsequent compression results is to say that at each value of x, a new CT1 state is created, and each subsequent CT1 state is aged by a single unit so that you get a number of sequential changing quantum points going between positive and negative results at different rates. The second rate is this spatial state, Since the universe exists as quantum instants, force does not exist at any quantum instant, nor does time. Also, force can exist without time. While force has several different aspects due to compression, there are two basic categories of force. The first is gravity, which is the net positive versus negative non-dimensional CT1 compression along CT2 compression over values of x. Positive and negative in this case merely refers to whether those information arms of CT2 are being populated or depopulated. This is the universe is a compressed entangled line. Only compressed CT states, CT2 and higher, have dimensional movement because only compressed states have dimension. CT1 space can never move dimensionally, but it can move relative to other CT1 solutions to tangle or entangle at the level of CT1 to CT2 compression. There are two forms of movement of higher CT states. In order to provide visual models for what occurs in a non-dimensional environment, extensive use of the idea of information arms is used as a way of showing compression. It should be noted that what is really taking place is the alignment of like or unlike f-πx solutions along with entangled, unaligned, lower CT states. However, the exponential results, which are reflected by the information arms, is a good model for this alignment, and there are two ways to view this mathematically. One is the analysis of equal versus unequal arms and determining which should be selected is easy. Equal arms means that using the electron bundle, it was estimated that unequal arms would mean that there were 122 times the amount of information in the electron bundle as in the electron itself. Using building arms, which fit the building model for f-πx, to put the balanced versus unbalanced states into perspective, the chart below shows how in each of the states the amount of information on each arm changes. Using the photon as an example, if balanced, there are 64 CT1 states on each of the 4 arms for a total of 256. Using the unbalanced version, the first arm has 4 and the last arm has 256, so that there's a steady building of the amount of information on each arm. This beginning information is a pure function of 2f of n, and each subsequent building in the unbalanced model is merely the effect of the